Problem 17 gives you two pieces of data, and then it tells you to find the exact value of the remaining trigonometric functions. Okay, so from this, we have to figure out what our x, y, or r are, and then in which quadrant it is. So first, we know that secant deals with cosine, and also that secant is our it's our r over x. So knowing that, this is actually 3 over 1. So our r is 3, and our x is 1. So let's go ahead and find our y using Pythagorean's theorem. So r squared equals x squared plus y squared. 3 squared equals 1 squared plus y squared. So then, okay, go straight to y. That's 3 squared minus 1 squared, which equals the square root of 8, which, when we take it apart, group 2, and that's 2 square root of 2. So we know our y. Okay, so now that we know these three pieces of data, we have one last thing to do, which could change the value of these, because it depends on which quadrant you are. Depending on which quadrant you are in, it changes whether x and y are positive or negative. So let's find where these two intersect on the unit circle. So let me draw a unit circle. Okay, so secant is our cosine. Since the 3 is positive, secant's got to be positive. So since we're dealing with like x values, this is negative x, this is positive x. So secant is positive here, and it's positive here. Cosecant deals with y values. So it wants greater than 0, that means positive. So cosecant theta is positive here, and cosecant theta is positive here. Since they're both positive in this quadrant 1, that's where we're going to work with. So our picture is basically that. Let's type. Okay, r is 3, y is 2 square root of 2, and x is 1. So we don't need to change any of our values because we're in quadrant 1 where x is positive and y is positive. Now that we know everything, let's go ahead and find the other trigonometric functions. Let's start with sine. So we know that sine of theta is y over r. So our y is 2 square root of 2, and our r is 3. That's the answer for sine. Let's go ahead and do cosine. We know that cosine is x over r. Our x is 1, and our r is 3, so cosine theta is 1/3. What about tangent theta? Well, tangent theta is y over x. So our y, 2 square root of 2, and our x, 1. Tangent is just 2 square root of 2. Continuing on, let's find our cotangent. Cotangent theta is just tangent flip, so it's x over y, or 1 over 2 square root of 2. However, we're going to have to rationalize this to get the square root out of the denominator, and that equals 2 square root of 2 over, we multiply the 2's and we get 4, then we take what's on the inside and multiply that. So 4 times 2 is 8, but we can reduce, so it's equal to the square root of 2 over 4. Lastly, we need to find cosecant. Cosecant theta is r over y, so our r, 3, and our y is 2 square root of 2. Again, since we have a square root in our denominator, we're going to have to rationalize. Okay, so multiply the top, we get the 2 times the 3 is a 6. 6 square root of 2 is on the top. And then when we multiply the bottom, we multiply the 2's. 2 times 2 is 4. But then we take what's in the square root, we multiply that. So 4 times 2, 8. Now let's go ahead and reduce that. And we get 3 square root 2 over 4. That's how you find all the other values.